Speaking of racing, let us check in with our women's champion for the second straight year. The national championship stays with Emily Sisson. Emily, congratulations. When we talked last week, we asked if you were going to go out and try to put the hammer down early on. Wasn't quite as early a move, but you certainly did stretch out your lead pretty early on here. What was your feeling coming into this race about your strategy for the Gate Rive run this year?
Yeah, I talked to my coach after we talked last week, and he told me he wanted me to start out at like 5:05 mile pace and then pick it up after we got over the first bridge. And so that's what I did. I had to factor in the elements. It was pretty humid here today, but most of the elite field was coming from a dry climate, so we were all in the same boat. So I did have to factor that into how I was feeling and how I ran. But yeah, it was a great race. Great first race back since Tokyo, so I'm really pleased with that.
You also mentioned last year that you were curious to see what your last mile would be coming off the top of the hard bridge. 4:52 today for you in that last mile. So I think it worked out for you all right.
Yeah, I was really pushing hard. That whole race, I kept counting down until the top of the hill, and then I kept telling myself it's just all downhill from there. So once I crested the top of the bridge, I just was like trying to go as fast as I could because I didn't know how close the men and the women were. So yeah, I was pushing.
Yeah. Emily, this is Keith Brantley, and fantastic race. Give us a kind of a thought process. This is a unique race where you're actually, when the women start out, you're the hunted rather than the hunter. What kind of thought process that, you know, it's stressful just leading a race like this, but knowing that the men are breathing down your neck and you're trying to protect yourself. What's your thought process in that?
I've actually never thought of it that way, but that's a good way to put it, I guess. I try to run so that I'm like pushing and I'm comfortably pushing it, but that I have some save left for when I get to the top of the bridge so that I can really like hammer it home. But yeah, I never really thought about it that way. I guess I am running with like a target on my back because the men start behind us.
And as the defending champion, definitely a target on your back. You and the other two Emilys were at the front pretty early on there. I think you probably had to know that those were going to be two of your toughest competitors coming into the race. At what point did you feel like you sort of had this thing in the bag?
I never feel like I have a race until I cross the finish line. I always want to be prepared that someone's going to just come up on my shoulder last minute. But yeah, it's funny because all three Emilys, we were all coming from Flagstaff, Arizona. And I remember joking with one of them on the plane. I'm like, we should hold this race in Arizona. It'd be a shorter flight. But yeah, no, it's nice. I know them well. They're great competitors. And yeah, they're good people. They're good friends. Yeah.
Finally, Emily, what does it mean to you to repeat as a champion here at this race?
It means a lot, especially coming off such a long time without racing. I haven't raced since the Olympics. And I was telling someone it's a bit of a confidence boost too, because I know I've been training hard, but I haven't raced. I haven't pushed my body this hard in a while now. So it was really good just to get the legs going, like turning over really fast again. And yeah, I'm hoping this is a good springboard for the rest of the year.
Emily, thanks so much for taking some time with us after the race. Congratulations for the second straight year. You are the national champion at 15K.
Thank you so much.